And of course, you have to talk to them, and this is a little bit of the customer feedback. You see, if what you've got to sell is in fact not attractive to them, they're not going to do it. So you're really pre-marketing, you're doing test marketing. But have them make a big fanfare at the public meeting that they're going to be in it. And that helps a lot. So we have, over the years, developed this training package. There are other training packages, but the thing about this one that we've developed, I say we, I'm not part of it, but the folks in Jackson, Michigan have developed this. Gandhi once said it, the only form in which democracy dare appear before the peasant is as food. The only form in which you should present quality management to people is as health with the things they think are important. You don't present it as a good unto itself. It's got to be something that, boy, that would help me. I want to do that. And now, in my career, people ask me, what are you? And I say, well, I'm a recovering academic. And by that I mean, I spent many years as an academic, but I now realize that the mindset that I had about education is not appropriate to this mission. See, in academia, we try to develop the knowledge and make sure you have good knowledge that we expect you to apply wherever. But what people need is know-how, how to put knowledge to work. And we turn to, you might say it's like just-in-time teaching. We focus on teaching people by having a project that they work on, typically taken from the place of work. And we stumbled onto that in Kingsport. When we started out. In Kingsport, for example, there was the Kingsport Foundry. And we said, you send a team of 5 people, and over this 15-week period, every other week, your 5 people will come to this class. And they will be working on a project from your company. You help them choose. And then we'll help them to improve something. And during the time between, they'll work on your project. So at the end, if we're lucky, you'll make more money out of this thing than you spent. And you will have learned how to do it in your business. People learn best when they feel the need to know. And if they are trying to do something and you help them by teaching them a technique, then they learn it, they remember it. So we do not teach, as I did as an academic, in advance of need to know, this general picture, wonderful, all tight, all logical, all good, and you can pass all the tests. But when it's out to do something, you discover that all that knowledge is difficult to turn into know-how. But if you want to know how, and we show you and then give you the knowledge behind it, it all hangs together. So this educational package is built around that picture. And what our committee, local team, working with, say, the local community college, is rides herd on that process. And that's hard sometimes. But it's easy to do with community colleges. It's very difficult to do with universities. There are exceptions, but generally speaking, the universities have a different mission than just helping people with today's problem on the job. So this is a set of pictures. Let me say a few words about planning the kickoff meeting. Decide on the training plan, the size of group, duration, and who's going to train them. Sign up 3 or 4 companies in advance. Be sure they agree to stay at the meeting if they're sending their teams. Guarantee the quality of the instructional program. That is, the Quality Council works on selecting the trainers. The trainers and the participating organizations meet. Try to involve the top management in this. They do the first sessions, then you have a review of projects and training, then you complete it, and then you hold a public celebration. This is very important. In Kingsport, the Kingsport Foundry Just as they started their project, they got notice from Cummins Diesel, I think it was Cummins Diesel, that no longer were they going to order their castings from Kingsport Foundry. They could get them cheaper and better from Taiwan. And that decided what the project would be. And the members of the team, we told them about customer focus and so forth, they went to Cummins to find out. And they found out all the terrible things they've been doing. The castings had to be reworked a little bit here and there. The holes in the casting weren't exactly where they ought to be. There were a lot of things they've been doing very sloppy. And they came home and using the quality management tools, they cleaned up their act. And before the project was over, Cummins said, "We're reversing our decision, you're better." And just as the project concluded, the company came through looking for a customer, a supplier, and the management let the team take them around. And before they left, they got an order for $600,000 worth of castings. And the finale of that thing, this Kingsport Foundry has grown. They bought the assets of another foundry about 10 miles away that went bankrupt to expand their business. And they were at a point where if they bought a bottle of ink, it had to be red. So that was a success, and it solidified in our minds how you have to do this. And I'll tell you more about other successes tonight. But we had to hold a public celebration for everybody to hear. And we suggest in New York, how do you hold a public celebration that anybody pays any attention to? Because in this town, we can have a parade on that avenue and a riot on that avenue and something else over here, and all going on at the same time. You don't know of it. So here you've got some problems of I don't know how to solve, but together we can figure it out. Now, it's important to build quality into this continuous improvement. After you've had this celebration, you have a review with all of the people participating. That is, when the course is over and you've had the public celebration, get some of the students and the participating companies and sit around the table and say, next time we do this, how should we do it better? Build continuous improvement in everything you do. And you know, we say continuous improvement, but unless you analyze the process and found a place where you're doing that deliberately, it'll just be a catchword and what happened. So you need to do that. And then you plan to institutionalize it. What we find over and over again is that when you have people study with you and have success in quality, amongst them there will be quite a few who are so turned on that they want to give of themselves for the future. And so you bring them into your organization, so your organization can grow and grow from this supply of people who've had first-hand experience, understand the rewards, and so forth. That's a very important element of recruitment amongst the students. They're future leaders. You need patience and confidence in all of this, because there is a fairly long time lag between when you do this and you see the tangible results. Now, that time lag is characteristic of most places. Under some circumstances, there doesn't have to be as long a time lag, and I call your attention to the case of Southern Pacific Railway, which within 18 months after initiating their work in quality management shows the results at the bottom line. Clearly, you can see the connection. It's not just a statistical study, but that's because they were at the end of the line. Kent Starrett, who had been in Florida Power and Light, went out there and took charge. And he knew from really intensive experience how to go about it. And in that environment, with the traditional hostility between labor and management, and all the problems of railroading, he was able to kick that through beautifully. I know because I meet with Kent. We're on a committee advisory San Francisco Unified School District. But in general, there is this time lag, and for a place like New York, I don't know what it is, but in Erie, that was a couple of years, that you have to keep getting better and better before you see the quality of result.